Hello YouTubers, and welcome to the video today. Thanks for all your subscriptions and comments and thumbs up and likes. Keep those coming, and welcome to the video today. Hope you're all well, and thanks for joining me today. I haven't done much videos on the channel for a long while, mainly because I just haven't had the time. Obviously I'm a busy dad, and we've had the summer just elapsed us very quickly, and just generally just haven't had the time, and also not really much doing in terms of the layout. Haven't had time to do much on the layout over the summer. Nothing worth note anyway, certainly uploading wise. But we're in September now, and we're going to begin September on the railway here with some new additions, which I'm very delighted to show and share with you today. And I hope that you enjoy the video. So, on that well-known auction site that we all go on there, I picked up some great bargains this past week actually, and I want to share them with you, and I hope that you enjoy them, and as a result of which there'll be some running later on in the video to show you what I've got. So without first and foremost ado, I managed to pick up this. This is a real bargain. This is the Hornby official breakdown Grizzly coach that came with the R1029 set, and I was after that set for a long time, and I kept getting outbid on it, and it just basically I never scored it in the end. So I came to the conclusion, if I can't get the set, I'll have to start piece by piece sourcing every single piece of the set to get it together. Didn't really want the track or the controller, no use to me really, but what was inside I wanted. So I thought, well, if I can't get the set, I'll have to have a look, scout on the set bidding an auction site, see if we could get bits and pieces. So here's the first of it. So this is the part of the R1029 breakdown set. I'm not sure, I think these were sold with the set. I'm not sure if these were sold individually. Some of you out there watching the video at the moment will be able to correct me and drop a comment if you were able to find out if these were ever sold as a separate item by Hornby. Anyway, they're a lovely little coach. I mean, it's a very nice model in my opinion. The colour on it is Great Eastern Engineering red. I think it was red all over the network in the 50s and 60s, but I mean, certainly the reason I got this is because it's a Grizzly coach, and being an Eastern region modeller, this most probably would have been a Stratford, certainly in the 1950s and early 60s. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned about breakdown cranes and coaches and such, but this one is the proper official coach that goes with the set, and as you can see here, it says breakdown train unit, and in brackets riding coach. So this is where all the blokes would have jumped in and gone to the job on. Tea and whatnot would have been in there. The tools really wouldn't have been kept in here. It's a separate tool van, which you'll see in a bit. But overall, it's a lovely coach. Obviously, it's a standard Hornby moulding for the Grizzly coaches they've got. Normally they're teak versions, but they started to bring out different variations. One of my favourite variations of the Hornby teak coaches, these Grizzly coaches that Hornby ever brought out, was the maroon ones, the darker shade of red. They were nice. You can still get those on said bidding and winnings and auction site. Anyway, nothing much to write home about this coach. It's standard Hornby moulding, as you can see underneath there. Nothing new there. I do like these Grizzly bogies though, they are quite smart. And this was the condition I received it in, as you can see. So all the wheels are nice and complete and nice and clean. There might have a little bit of dirt on there since I've been running it around the layout, but overall it's a nice coach. I'm going to flip it around just so you can have a little look on that side. So yeah, there we go. So that's going to complete my breakdown set properly. So that's that bit. Let's put it to one side carefully. But this, ladies and gents, is the creme de la creme. This is what I was after. I haven't had one of these recently, and it's a new loco I'm going to share with you today. And this particular locomotive that you're going to see is something that I've wanted in my collection for a long time. I did have a mainline version of it. Because mainline bought out Airfix in the late 70s, early 80s, a company called Mainline. When Airfix went bust, and they stopped making railway stuff, Mainline took over, took all their tooling, and brought out some locos. And then Mainline went bust. They were bought by a company called Daypol, who was in existence today, makes some cracking models. But this was one of their first early locos they brought out, and I'm very proud and pleased to show you this wonderful bargain I picked up on said auction bidding site the other day. One of these. It's an N2, and this is how it was advertised on said website. As you can see, the box is in quite reasonable condition there. So that was nice, but what's inside's even better, we're going to show you in a minute. So this is a Hornby N2, and it's, sorry the light's getting a little bit in here, sorry about this guys, I haven't got a tripod at the moment by the way, because my tripod's broke, so everything's handheld today unfortunately. As you can see there, it's in this beautiful L&ER black with red boiler bands and red detail around the logo itself, very nicely finished. Number 4753. It's a Gresley tank engine, and these were used on suburban services initially between King's Cross and Moorgate on the eastern region, and later on they actually went up north around Scotland, sort of places like that. You'd find them in the 50s and 60s, but mainly these were suburban tank engines, and they were masters of all work, if you like, in terms of suburban passenger work in little short trains, freight trains. But mainly you'd see these on the eastern region, certainly sort of the Hertford East services, along with the N7s and things like that. These were definitely a Stratford engine. You had loads of these at Stratford, along with the N7s. Not too many, I mean the N7s outnumbered them I think, but these were definitely an eastern region steam loco. So I'm quite proud and glad to have one of these on the layout. So let's just stop this a minute and get out the box and we can have a little look. Alright, so go grab a tea and coffee, get yourself whatever you need to get, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we have the loco at the box. Again, I'm a bit limited with resources in terms of tripods and stuff with the video, so everything's handheld, so if it is a little bit wobbly, please do forgive my camera work, as I haven't got a tripod at the moment. But anyway, the main thing is we're going to look at what's inside the box, and I want to show you how wonderful this little model is. So here we go. Lifting off the tissue paper, this is how it came, obviously nice and wrapped. And there she is. God, look at that. Isn't she lovely? And what we'll do, we'll just take it off to one side so we can put it nicely there. And we'll get that out of the way, and then we can have a proper look. So starting at the front end, the boiler end, I always start from the front end of the loco. Yeah, she's definitely an N2. If you're familiar with these locos in real life or seeing them on preserved lines and in books and stuff, you'll know that recognisably it is an N2. It's got the classic lines and chunkiness of the N2. It's a very chunky engine, a very handsome engine, and it's got all the hallmarks also of a Gresley engine. And by that I mean, if we look at the smoke box door, instantly, even if you looked at it from the front, you could tell certainly by the smoke box shape that it's got that Gresley classic boiler profile. And my model that came as bought came with a vacuum pipe fitted on the front there, and the hook and the front coupling. These couplings do come off, so if you wanted to take one off on the front, for example, you can. Quite easily convert these to KD couplings if you want to use those, I suppose. But overall, the paintwork on this is lovely, nice and crisp. Look at these huge, where is it? I'll have to use my thing here. So we've got the condensing apparatus here. As you can see, these large pipes that go from the tank, from the boiler should I say, all the way along the boiler and down into the water tank. So the idea was that it reduced the emissions of smoke and steam out, more so smoke and out of the chimney, when these run in the tunnels between Moorgate and King's Cross on the widened lines, which runs parallel to the Metropolitan and Circle lines of the underground system. Back in the day, they had these condensing apparatus pipes fitted, And like I said, the job was to condense all the emissions of the loco and stop the footplate crew and people in the garages from getting smutty shirts. Apparently never used to work very well. There was quite a number of different classifications of the N2 class, different versions without. I know on the eastern region at Stratford 30A shed, you had quite a number of M2s without these pipes fitted. If you wanted to take these pipes off, I think there might be a little bit of a mare because they're all moulded. But the keen modeler, if you're out there watching, has got one of these and you want to convert it to an N2 without these pipes, quite easily, you could just, with a little bit of careful cutting and filing, you could remove these pipes possibly. But I'm not going to remove those, so I quite like them as they are. Moving down the loco then, there's some really nice detail here. One that really catches the eye, I think, is these crisp red and black contrast between the boiler bands and the boiler itself and the body, and all this beautiful detail around here, around the wheel splashes and around the front end. Really eye-catching. Moving down the tank there, we've got the logos on there, the London North Eastern Railway LNER 4753, and just in general everything from the numbering and lettering and the paintwork has been crisply applied, and you wouldn't expect anything less from Hornby. This model in particular I got for the sum of £38 on said auction famous site. Now these go for a lot more, and I think the only reason the chap that was selling it said he was selling, I think he said because there was a slight scuff mark on the side here, which if I zoom in you can just maybe pick out, but it's nothing untoward, that little thing there. You can't even, well, if I bring it up you maybe notice it there, a little bit of whatever it is, but to me you could easily disguise that with the eye as condensation or a little bit of water that's dripped out from the overflow there, possibly somewhere. But on the whole, she's a lovely engine. I mean, look at this detail on the top, everybody. If you look at this at home on your device, you can see, look at these separately fitted handrails, for example, along the top of the tank. You've got the safety valves there, and then you've got the whistle. And then these pipes that come up from the tank, and they go up, vent there. Nice overall detail on top. Look at the rivets. Look, see? Look at these rivets here. That's nice. Separately fitted handrail on the front of the smoke box door there, with some details there. That's nice. And the profile of the chimney top. I always look at the profile of any chimney on a loco and match it up with pictures and photographs, and this detailing around here is all correct. So moving on down the loco, you've got some separately fitted handrails towards the cab, some step details here. On the rear of the bunker you've got this fantastic amount of detail here. Let me just spin this around a little bit into our light so we can see what's going on. Right, there we go. Oops, sorry about that, guys. There, that's better. So move our light in a little bit. That's better maybe. Okay. So looking at this, you've got some handrails there around the back, vacuum pipe there. These buffers are all sprung, which is lovely. Separate coupling fitted on the back here. Again, you can take these couplings off here and you can easily interchange these with something else if you wanted to. The only thing here on my model, and I think these N2s in general, the way they're manufactured, they seem to have used the old tooling from mainline, in the fact that the motor is, although it's slightly lower than the cab door, unfortunately the motor is in the cab, and there is zero scope for any detail on the cab there in terms of controls and gauges like you get in most Hornby locos. So sadly the motor is visibly in the cab, just about. It's not as bad as the old mainline versions. I mean, the mainline versions you could pick it out from a mile. But there is a motor unfortunately in the cab, and there isn't any room for any cab detail. However, having said that, there is just enough room that you could take some Bachmann or another brand of footplate crew, and you could quite cleverly model those to protrude in this area, maybe with the driver with his arm out the window and the fireman does so on the other side. There is scope for that if you're clever. Quite easy to do, it's not really a problem. Taking the body off this is extremely easy. Just underneath here, I just roll it over carefully. Looking underneath the side of the loco, underneath, you've just got a couple of screws, 1, 2, 3. So if you ever want to take the loco apart to clean it or maintain it, which you shouldn't have to do, because all the cleaning and maintaining is done externally. But for example, if you want to get to this raised area here, this kind of like arched bit that goes above the wheel, bit of a giveaway, because underneath that is a cog which engages with the motor gear, and that's where the actual driving part mainly comes from this area, and it's obviously connected to the con rods that provide traction on all 6 wheels. But anyway, in layman's terms, if you want to get to the cog and put a little bit of grease in it, all you got to do, bosh, 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 undo those 3 screws, and then at the back here there's 2 clips, 1, 2, and then from the front end you just carefully lift this out and pull the whole chassis down towards you at an angle, and it removes itself from the body. And inside you'll just see the motor and the bits you need to get to. But to be honest with you, if you just want to apply grease as mentioned to this area, you don't really have to take the body off. So in actual fact, all you need to do is take these 3 screws off. So forget what I've just said. You can take the body off the chassis. Obviously you'll need to have a look at that, because in actual fact, if you do want to actually, the worm part of the motor, which is the long spirally bit attached to the end of the motor itself that goes round and round and engages with the cog and turns your wheels, if you want to put a little bit of grease on that, then yes, you'll have to take the body separately, completely away from the chassis. But if you just wanted to do it from an upside down point of view really quickly, you didn't want to take the motor out the chassis and so forth, again, just undo these 3 screws, lift off this plate, put your tiny blob of model engineering grease in there, put your cover back on, do your screws up, and job done. But for lubrication purposes, if you've got one of these out of the box and you want to lube it up, the easiest way to do it is what I do and what Hornby says. Put your 3 dabs, 1, 2 and 3, repeat on the other side, and then on the axles you put a bit inside there, 1, 2 and 3, and repeat on the other side as well. So all you're interested in doing really is just lubricating the axles and the pins on the con rods. But anyway, overall, as you can see, she's a gorgeous engine. One thing you will notice about my loco, or the one that I've received, I've given it a little bit of a personal touch, and if you haven't spotted it already, there we go. Nothing beats real coal like real coal, and that is real coal on there. So in very small pieces, super glued and held in place. I haven't gone too mad with it, but I've left a little bit of room around the edge of the bunker, obviously, but I like to make things look as much as real as possible. So I've added some real coal in the bunker. Simple things like that I think that really bring a model to life, and in my opinion that brings my N2 a little bit more to life. I'm not going to weather mine, I'm going to keep mine exactly as it is because I do like it as it is, and this will run along with that. This will be part of my it will form the formation of the R1029 breakdown set. The only thing that will be different is in the livery. In the breakdown set, as mentioned, R1029, it's the N2 with the late BR crest on here rather than the LNER early stuff. So, but other than that, formation wise, that's complete now. So what I'm going to do now is stop the video and just say a final farewell and let the train speak for themselves. I'm going to do 2 running sessions. I'm going to do one with the LNER N2, what you see in front of you. I'm going to do that completely with the engineering breakdown set, and then I'm going to do it with some suburban coaches, and you should hopefully see the results and enjoy. So if I don't see you soon, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. And if you're thinking about maybe even get one of these for yourself, you're thinking, well, maybe I need one of those for the layout, or I quite like that on the video, and I do like the engine. And if you see one of these out there, if you see them for an absolute steal on I'm going to say eBay, Everyone knows what I'm talking about. If you do see it on eBay or anywhere other on the internet, online, maybe a model shop that's selling one of these, if you see it for a decent price, guys and girls, pick yourself up one. They're really nice, handsome little engines, and they really are a nice addition to a layout because they're perfect for little suburban short passenger trains, and also for freight trains as well. I mean, you can use them, and they are a nice looking engine, as I said. Up to you. Me personally, I like the preserved Great Northern Railway one, the green one that Hornby have got, and that's preserved currently on the Great Central Railway, I believe. Anyway, N2s, love them because I'm an Eastern Region freak. And I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy and have a wonderful day, and have a great September. Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye. That's right, there's a brake van in the depot at the moment, and it's very sensitive to vibration, and it's just started off the sound effects chip.